Imagine a windswept shore in ancient Denmark. The year is 958 AD. Waves crash against jagged cliffs. A cold, briny wind howls through the fjords. A lone Viking longship slices through the mist. Its dragon-headed prow glares defiantly at the horizon. On board stands a man, tall and weathered. His name is Harald Gormson, soon to be known as Harald Bluetooth. His piercing blue eyes scan the sea. A storm brews in his heart, as fierce as the one overhead. He is no ordinary warrior. He is a king destined to unite a fractured land. A king whose legacy will echo not just through the ages, but into the devices in your pocket today. This is the story of Harald Bluetooth, a Viking king who forged Scandinavia's soul, a man who brought Christianity to the Danes, a man whose name inspired a technology that connects us all. Let's step into his world, a world of blood, faith, and ambition, a world where one man's vision changed history. The icy waters churn beneath Harald's ship. His calloused hands grip the oar. He's not just a king, he's a Viking. The salt spray stings his face. His mind races with thoughts of his father, King Gorm the Old. Gorm was a titan of the old ways, a pagan who worshipped Odin and Thor. Harald feels the weight of his father's legacy. It presses on his shoulders like a heavy cloak. But Harald is different. He dreams of something greater. A unified Denmark. A kingdom bound not just by swords, but by faith. The deck creaks under his boots. His men row in silence. Their faces are grim, hardened by years of raids. Harald knows their loyalty is fragile. Vikings respect strength, not dreams. He must prove himself. His father's death left a fractured realm. Petty chieftains bicker over scraps of land. Norway and Sweden loom as threats. Harald's vision burns bright, but it's dangerous. Uniting the Danes will demand cunning. It will demand blood. Picture a rugged hall in Jelling, Denmark's heart. Torches flicker, casting shadows on wooden beams. The air smells of smoke and mead. Harald stands before his warriors. His voice booms like thunder. "We are Danes," he declares. "One people, one strength." The crowd roars, but some eyes narrow. Change is a bitter brew for Vikings. Harald knows this. He feels their doubt like a blade at his throat. But he presses on. His plan is bold. Unite the tribes, strengthen the crown, and bring a new faith to the land. In the shadows, a monk named Popo watches. His robes are tattered, his face weary. He's a Christian, a stranger in this pagan world. Harald invited him here. Why? Popo wonders. The king's interest in Christianity is no secret, but it's a dangerous gamble. The old gods still hold sway. Popo clutches his cross, praying for strength. He sees Harald's ambition. He senses the storm coming. Let's step back and breathe in the history. The 10th century was a brutal time. Scandinavia was no unified land. It was a patchwork of tribes. Chieftains ruled like warlords. Loyalty was bought with gold or blood. Raids on England and Francia brought wealth, but also enemies. Harald inherited a Denmark on the brink. His father, Gorm, had begun to centralize power. But it was fragile. Rival clans waited for weakness. Harald's reign began in chaos. He was about 25, thrust into a world of betrayal and ambition. Historical records, like the Jelling stones, tell us Harald was no ordinary king. These massive runestones, erected by Harald himself, proclaim his deeds. One stone, carved for his parents, reads, "King Harald ordered this monument made in memory of Gorm, his father, and Thyra, his mother." The other, larger stone declares Harald's triumph. Harald, who won for himself all of Denmark and Norway, and made the Danes Christian. These stones are no mere boasts. They're proof of a king who reshaped his world. Now, imagine a stormy night in Jelling. Rain lashes the wooden hall. Harald sits by a fire, his face etched with resolve. Poppo, the monk, kneels before him. "Why risk it, my lord?" Poppo asks. His voice trembles. "The old gods are strong. Your people will resist." Harald's eyes glint in the firelight. "The old gods divide us," he replies. "A new faith will bind us." Poppo is stunned. This is no whim. Harald sees Christianity as a tool, a way to unite tribes under one banner, a way to align with powerful Christian kingdoms. But it's a dangerous path. The Vikings cling to their gods. Thor's hammer hangs around their necks. Sacrifices to Odin stain the altars. Harald knows the cost of change. He's heard the whispers of rebellion. Yet he pushes forward. His mother, Queen Thyra, taught him strength. His father, Gorm, taught him cunning. Harald will need both. The scene shifts to a windswept hill. A crowd gathers around a massive runestone. It's the Jelling Stone, Harald's masterpiece. Carved with runes and a crude image of Christ, it stands as a bold statement. Harald addresses his people. His voice carries over the wind. "This stone marks our future," he proclaims. "One Denmark, one faith." Some cheer. Others mutter curses. A warrior named Bjorn steps forward. His hand rests on his axe. "You betray Thor," he shouts. The crowd tenses. Harald doesn't flinch. "I betray no one," he says. "I build a stronger Denmark." The tension is palpable. Poppo watches, heart pounding. He knows this moment could spark rebellion. But Harald's gaze is steady. He raises his hand, revealing a small symbol, a rune like mark, 2 lines intertwined. "This is my mark," he says, "a sign of unity." That symbol, etched in history, will one day inspire Bluetooth technology, a fitting legacy for a king who connected people. Let's pause to reflect on Harald's genius. The Jelling stones weren't just monuments. They were propaganda. Harald used them to cement his rule. By honoring his parents, he tied himself to their legacy. By proclaiming Christianity, he signaled a new era. Historians note that Harald's conversion wasn't just spiritual, it was political. Christianity brought alliances with the Holy Roman Empire. It opened trade routes. It gave Harald legitimacy in a changing Europe. But it came at a cost. His own son, Sweyn Forkbeard, would later rebel, clinging to the old gods. Harald's symbol, the intertwined runes, was a stroke of brilliance. It represented his initials, H and B, in runic form. Centuries later, in 1998, engineers at Ericsson named their wireless technology Bluetooth after Harald. Why? Because like Harald, Bluetooth united disparate systems. Your phone, your earbuds, your laptop, they all connect thanks to Harald's legacy. It's a stunning bridge between the Viking Age and our digital world. Now, picture a battlefield in 986 AD. Harald, older now, stands atop a hill. His hair is streaked with gray. His armor is scarred from countless fights. Norway's rebels, led by Håkon Sigurdsson, challenge his rule. The air smells of blood and iron. Harald's men clash with the enemy. Swords ring, shields splinter. Harald fights not just for land, but for his vision. A united Scandinavia, a Christian Denmark. He swings his axe with the strength of youth. but doubt gnaws at him. Will his people ever fully embrace his dream? From the perspective of a young Viking named Eric, the battle is chaos. Eric idolizes Harald. He sees the king as a father to the Danes. But he hears the grumbling. Harald betrays us, some warriors whisper. Eric grips his shield, torn. He believes in Harald's vision, but the old gods still call to him. The clash of steel mirrors the clash in his heart. Harald's dream hangs in the balance. As the sun sets over the battlefield, Harald stands victorious, but the cost is heavy. Dead warriors litter the ground. Harald kneels beside a fallen comrade. His face is grim. Was it worth it? He whispers to himself. The wind carries no answer, yet Harald presses on. He knows unity requires sacrifice. He knows faith demands courage. His reign will not be easy. Rebellion looms. His own son, Sweyn, will one day challenge him, but Harald's legacy will endure. The Jelling Stones still stand today. They're a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visitors marvel at their runes. They trace the faint image of Christ. Harald's mark, the Bluetooth symbol, lives on in our tech. His story reminds us of the power of vision, of the courage to bridge old and new, of the strength to unite. Now, let's bring Harald's story to our lives. What can we learn from this Viking king? Harald faced a divided world. He dared to dream of unity. He embraced change, even when it cost him. Today, we face our own divisions, political, cultural, personal. Harald teaches us to build bridges, to find common ground, to lead with courage, even when the path is uncertain. His Bluetooth symbol reminds us, connection is possible, even across vast distances. So ask yourself, what can you unite in your own life? What legacy will you leave? This is just the beginning of Harald's saga. His battles, his faith, his triumphs, they unfold in a world of fire and ice. Join us as we dive deeper into his reign, into the heart of a king who connected a nation and, in a way, connected us all. The wind howls across a frozen Danish plain. It's 960 AD, and the world feels alive with fury. Snow dusts the ground like ash from a dying fire. In the distance, a wooden fortress looms, its walls bristling with spears. Inside, King Harald Bluetooth paces restlessly. His boots thud against the earthen floor. His breath clouds in the frigid air. He's a man at war not just with enemies, but with time itself. Denmark is a land of scattered tribes, fierce and stubborn. Harald dreams of forging them into one nation. But dreams are fragile things, and the cost of his ambition is rising. Last time, we stood with Harald on the shores of Jelling. We saw his bold vision take shape. The Jelling stones, etched with runes and faith, declared his intent. He would unite Denmark. He would bring Christianity to a pagan land. His symbol, two runes entwined, promised connection. A promise that echoes today in the Bluetooth tech we use. But promises are tested by fire. And Harald's fire is coming. Let's plunge into the heart of his reign. A saga of battles, betrayal, and belief. The fortress gates creak open. Harald steps into the dawn. His cloak snaps in the wind. His warriors gather, their faces carved from stone. They're loyal, but loyalty has limits. Harald knows this. He feels their eyes on him. A chieftain named Sigtrygg has defied his rule. Sigtrygg controls a rich trading port. His rebellion threatens Harald's fragile unity. The king's jaw tightens. He mounts his horse. To war, he says, His voice is low, but it carries like thunder. The hooves of his men pound the earth. The clash is inevitable. Imagine the scene from a young warrior's eyes. His name is Olaf, barely 16. His hands tremble as he grips his spear. He's heard tales of Harald's strength. The king who felled giants, they say. But Olaf sees the odds. Sigtrygg's men are fierce. Their axes gleam in the morning light. Olaf wonders if Harald's dream is worth dying for. He glances at the king, riding tall. Harald's face is unreadable, but his eyes burn with purpose. Olaf swallows his fear. He marches on. Let's pause to ground ourselves in history. The 10th century was a brutal chessboard. Denmark wasn't a single kingdom. It was a web of power woven by chieftains like Sigtrygg. Each controlled land, men, and wealth. Harald's father, Gorm, had clawed some unity from this chaos. But it was brittle. Harald inherited a crown, but also a tangle of rivalries. The gelling stones, as we saw, were his bold claim. They shouted, "I am king of all Denmark." But words on stone don't win wars. Harald needed victories, he needed allies, and he needed something bigger of faith to bind his people. The sagas, like the Heimskringla, tell us Harald was a master strategist. He didn't just fight. He schemed. He married wisely, forged alliances, and used religion as a weapon. Christianity wasn't just a belief, it was a political tool. The Holy Roman Empire, under Otto I, was a rising power. Otto was Christian. Aligning with him meant protection. It meant trade. It meant legitimacy. But Harald's people weren't ready. Pagan gods ruled their hearts. Thor's hammer was their pride. Harald's choice was a tightrope walk over a pit of rebellion. The battlefield stretches before a river. Mist curls from the water like ghostly fingers. Harald's men form a shield wall. Their breath steams in the cold. Across the field, Sigtrygg's warriors howl. Their war cries echo off the hills. Harald raises his sword. "For Denmark!" he roars. The clash begins. Steel bites steel. Shields crack under axes. Blood stains the snow. Harald fights at the front. His blade sings with fury. He's not just a king. He's a Viking, born of fire and iron. From Sigtrygg's perspective, this is no mere battle. It's a stand for freedom. Sigtrygg is no villain. He's a proud chieftain, loyal to the old ways. Harald's talk of unity feels like chains. His Christian God feels like betrayal. Sigtrygg swings his axe, shouting to Odin. His men rally around him. They see Harald's banner, a cross woven with runes. It's an insult to their gods. Sigtrygg vows to tear it down. He charges, eyes locked on Harald. The two men collide. The fate of Denmark hangs in the balance. The sun dips low, painting the sky red. The battle ends in carnage. Sigtrygg lies dead, his axe beside him. Harald stands over him, chest heaving. His men cheer, but it's a hollow sound. Too many lie broken on the field. Harald's victory is bitter. He kneels by Sigtrygg's body. "You fought well," he murmurs, "but Denmark must be won." He rises, his face hard. This is the price of his dream. He knows there will be more. Olaf, the young warrior, watches from a distance. His spear is bloodied. His heart races. He survived. He saw Harald's strength, but he also saw the cost. Friends lie dead. Families will mourn. Olaf wonders if unity is worth this pain. He looks at Harald silhouetted against the sunset. The king seems unbreakable, but Olaf senses something else. A flicker of doubt in Harald's eyes. Even giants carry burdens. Now picture a quiet moment in Jelling's hall. It's months after the battle. Torches cast a warm glow. Harald sits with Poppo, the Christian monk. The air smells of wood smoke and parchment. Poppo unrolls a manuscript. Its Latin words gleam in the firelight. "This is the story of Christ," Poppo says. His voice is soft but urgent. Harald leans forward. His fingers trace the page. He's intrigued but cautious. "Will this God unite my people?" he asks. Poppo nods. "He can, my lord, but it will take time." Outside, a storm rages. Lightning splits the sky. Harald's men drink and laugh, but tension simmers. Some wear Thor's hammer. Others clutch crosses gifted by Poppo. The hall feels like a powder keg. Harald knows he's playing with fire. Christianity promises alliances. It promises peace with Otto's empire, but it risks alienating his warriors. He thinks of Sigtrygg's defiance. He thinks of the blood in the snow. His choice will shape history. Let's reflect on Harald's gamble. Historians debate when Denmark truly converted. The Jellingstone claims Harald made the Danes Christian, but it wasn't a single moment. It was a slow, bloody process. Archaeological finds, like Christian graves in Jelling, show the shift began under Harald. But pagan burials continued. Thor's hammer amulets persisted. Harald didn't force conversion. He led by example. He built churches. He invited missionaries. He showed his people a new path, but let them walk it slowly. This was Harald's genius. He balanced old and new. He kept his Viking soul while embracing a foreign faith. The Gesta Danorum, a medieval chronicle, paints Harald as a shrewd ruler. He knew Christianity was a key to Europe's future, but he also knew his people's pride. He didn't burn their idols. He blended them with crosses. His Jellingstone shows Christ, but also a serpent, a nod to Norse myths. Harald was a bridge between worlds. The scene shifts to a rocky coast. Waves crash against cliffs. Harald stands alone, staring at the sea. His son, Sweyn Forkbeard, approaches. Sweyn is young, fierce, and proud. His eyes burn with resentment. "Father," he says, voice sharp, "you forsake our gods." Harald turns, his face weary. "I forsake nothing," he replies. "I build a future." Sweyn scoffs. "A future of weak priests and foreign kings?" The words cut deep. Harald sees rebellion in his son's eyes. He fears Sweyn will undo his work. This moment foreshadows tragedy. Sweyn will one day overthrow Harald. The sagas tell us Sweyn clung to paganism, at least for a time. Father and son were mirrors, both strong, both stubborn. But their visions clashed. Harald wanted unity through faith. Sweyn wanted power through pride. The seeds of conflict are sown here, on this windswept shore. Harald feels it. His heart aches. But he stands firm. Now, let's connect Harald's story to today. His Bluetooth symbol, born from his initials, lives in our tech. It's a reminder of his vision connection across divides. Harald faced a fractured world. He built bridges with swords and faith. We face our own fractures. Families divided by beliefs. Nations split by politics. Harald's lesson is clear. Unity takes sacrifice. It takes courage to blend old and new. It takes wisdom to lead without breaking. Think of your own life. What divides you from others? A grudge? A difference in values? Harald teaches us to seek common ground, to listen, not just fight. His reign wasn't perfect. He made enemies, He lost his throne, but his legacy endures. The gelling stones stand as proof. Bluetooth connects us daily. Harald's story urges us to build, not burn, to unite, not divide. The saga of Harald Bluetooth is far from over. Battles loom on the horizon. His faith will be tested. His family will fracture. But his vision burns bright. Join us next time as we follow Harald through fire and betrayal, through the clash of gods and men, through the birth of a legacy that still connects us all. A fire crackles in this great hall of gelling. The year is 965 AD. Shadows dance on the carved wooden walls. King Harald Bluetooth sits on his throne, his face etched with lines of worry. The air is thick with the scent of pine and mead. Outside, a winter storm batters the land. It mirrors the storm in Harald's heart. His dream of a united Denmark teeters on the edge. Rebellion simmers among his people. His own son, Sweyn Forkbeard, grows defiant, and the new faith he champions, Christianity, divides more than it unites. In our last journey, we saw Harald crush a rebellion. He felled the chieftain Sigtryg in a bloody clash. He spoke with the monk Poppo, weighing the power of a Christian God. His vision burned bright. One Denmark, one faith, one future. His symbol, the intertwined runes, promised connection, a promise that lives today in Bluetooth technology. But visions are fragile. Harald's enemies sharpen their blades. His allies waver. Let's step into the fire of his reign. A tale of faith, family, and fracture. The hall is alive with voices. Warriors feast, their laughter rough and loud. Harald watches them, his gaze sharp. He sees the Thor's hammer amulets glinting on their chests. He sees the crosses, too new and strange. His push for Christianity has split his court. Some embrace the new god. Others cling to Odin's wrath. Harald feels the tension like a taut bowstring. One wrong move and it will snap. A young woman named Astrid serves mead. Her eyes dart nervously. She's a Christian, baptized by Poppo. Her father, a grizzled warrior, scorns her faith. Astrid feels torn. She admires Harald's courage. He dares to change the world. But she fears the cost. Whispers of rebellion reach her ears. Chieftains plot in shadowed corners. Astrid prays silently. She hopes Harald's vision holds. She hopes her family survives. Let's ground ourselves in the history. The mid-10th century was a turning point for Scandinavia. Harald ruled a Denmark caught between worlds. The Viking Age was at its peak. Longships raided as far as Byzantium. Wealth poured in from England's Danegeld. But Europe was changing. The Holy Roman Empire, led by Otto I, flexed its might. Christian kingdoms grew stronger. Harald saw the future. Pagan Denmark risked isolation. Christianity offered alliances, trade, and power, but it demanded sacrifice. The gelling stones, as we've seen, tell Harald's story. The larger stone boasts Harald, who won all of Denmark and Norway and made the Danes Christian. But made is a bold word. Conversion was no decree. It was a struggle. Archaeological evidence, like early churches in Ribe, shows Christianity's roots under Harald. Yet pagan graves persisted. Runestones still honored Thor. Harald didn't burn temples. He built bridges, literal and spiritual. His reign was a delicate dance of power and persuasion. The scene shifts to a frozen fjord. Harald stands on a rocky outcrop. His breath clouds in the icy air. Below, a wooden church rises. Its cross gleams against the snow. Poppo, the monk, supervises workers. Harald's heart swells with pride. This church is his statement, a symbol of his new Denmark. But his pride is tempered. He knows the risks. Many Vikings see this cross as a blade aimed at their gods. Poppo approaches, his robes dusted with snow. "My lord," he says, voice earnest, "this church will stand for centuries." Harald nods, but his eyes are distant. "Will my people stand with it?" he asks. Poppo hesitates. "Faith takes time," he replies. Harald's jaw tightens. Time is a luxury he doesn't have. Rebellion brews in the north. Chieftains loyal to the old gods rally men. Harald's dream feels like sand slipping through his fingers. Imagine the perspective of a pagan warrior named Thorvald. He stands by the fjord, watching the church rise. His hand grips his axe. His heart burns with rage. To Thorvald, Harald is no king. He's a traitor. The old gods gave Vikings strength. They guided their ships through storms. Now Harald kneels to a foreign god. Thorvald spits in the snow. He vows to fight. He'll join the rebels. He'll defend Odin's honor. Thorvald doesn't see Harald's vision. He sees only betrayal. Thorvald's anger reflects a wider truth. Harald's conversion wasn't just spiritual. It was cultural. Christianity challenged Viking identity. It demanded new laws, new morals. Women like Astrid found freedom in its teachings. Warriors like Thorvald saw chains. Harald walked a razor's edge. He needed the church to win allies. He needed his warriors to hold his throne. Every step forward risked a step back. The hall grows quiet as night falls. Harald rises from his throne. His voice cuts through the murmurs. "My people," he says, "we stand at a crossroads." The warriors lean forward. Some grip their weapons. Harald's eyes burn with resolve. "The old gods gave us strength," he continues. "But a new god offers unity." A murmur ripples through the crowd. Thorvald, in the back, clenches his fists. Harald raises a hand. "I build a Denmark for all," he declares. "Join me, or fall." The words hang heavy. Astrid, serving mead, freezes. She sees the divide in the room. Crosses versus hammers. Loyalty versus rebellion. Harald's gamble is bold. He's not forcing faith. He's demanding trust. Some warriors nod, swayed by his strength. Others, like Thorvald, slip into the night. They'll carry their anger to the rebels. Harald watches them go. His heart sinks, but his face remains stone. Let's pause to analyze Harald's strategy. The sagas, like the Gesta Danorum, paint him as a cunning ruler. He didn't impose Christianity by force. He led by example. He built churches, like the one by the fjord. He invited missionaries, like Poppo. He wore a cross, but kept his sword. This balance was key. Force would have sparked revolt. Persuasion built loyalty slowly. The gelling stone's Christ, entwined with a serpent, shows Harald's genius. He blended faiths to ease the transition. Historians note Harald's ties to Otto I. In 965, Otto was crowned Holy Roman Emperor. His power was unmatched. Harald's baptism, likely around this time, was a diplomatic masterstroke. It aligned Denmark with Europe's might. It opened trade routes. It brought priests and scholars. But it alienated men like Thorvald. Harald's reign was a constant balancing act. Every gain came with a loss. Every ally made an enemy. The scene shifts to a stormy sea. Harald's longship battles towering waves. He's sailing north to confront rebels. Lightning cracks the sky. His men row with grim determination. Harald stands at the prow, soaked and defiant. His son, Sweyn Forkbeard, is by his side, but Sweyn's face is cold. "This is folly, father," he says. His voice is sharp. "You chase a god who weakens us." Harald turns, eyes blazing. "I chase a future," he snaps. "You'll see it one day." Sweyn's defiance cuts deeper than any blade. Harald sees his younger self in his son, fierce, proud, unyielding. But Sweyn clings to the old gods. He resents the cross. He resents his father's vision. Harald fears the inevitable. Sweyn's ambition grows. One day, he'll challenge the throne. The sea roars around them. It feels like an omen. Father and son stand together, yet worlds apart. From Sweyn's perspective, this voyage is a breaking point. He's 20, a warrior born. He's raided England, tasted glory. To Sweyn, Harald's Christianity is surrender. It's a betrayal of Viking blood. Sweyn grips the ship's rail, salt spray in his face. He dreams of a different Denmark, one ruled by strength, not priests. He glances at his father. Harald's resolve is iron. Sweyn's heart hardens. He'll bide his time. But his rebellion is coming. The sagas confirm Sweyn's role. He would later overthrow Harald, briefly restoring paganism. His motives were complex. Power, pride, and faith drove him. Sweyn wasn't just a son. He was a rival. Harald's dream of unity sowed the seeds of his downfall. Yet even this fracture shaped history. Sweyn's reign would build on Harald's foundations. The Bluetooth legacy endured despite the cracks. Now, picture the rebel camp. Thorvald stands before a bonfire. His voice rises, fierce and raw. "Harald betrays us," he shouts. Warriors cheer, their axes raised. The rebel leader, a chieftain named Hrothgar, nods. "We fight for Odin," Hrothgar says. "We fight for freedom." Thorvald feels alive. He's no longer alone. The rebels plan their strike. They'll hit Harald's forces at dawn. The clash will shake Denmark's soul. Harald's scouts report the rebel camp. He stands on his ship, staring at the horizon. His heart is heavy. These are his people, yet they defy him. He thinks of the gelling stones, of his mother, Thyra, who taught him resolve, of his father, Gorm, who forged a throne from chaos. Harald grips his sword. "We fight," he says. His voice is steady. The storm rages on. The battle looms. Let's connect Harald's story to our world. His Bluetooth symbol, born from his runes, connects our devices. It's a testament to his vision bridging divides. Harald faced a fractured Denmark. He dared to unite it, even at great cost. We face our own fractures. Friendships strained by beliefs. Communities split by fear. Harald's lesson is timeless. Unity requires patience. It requires sacrifice. It requires leading with both heart and steel. Think of your own battles. What divides you from others? Anger? Misunderstanding? Harald teaches us to build, not destroy. To listen, not just speak. His church by the fjord still stands in memory. His Bluetooth symbol binds us daily. Harald's saga urges us to forge connections, to leave a legacy of unity, not division. Harald's story burns brighter still. The rebel clash awaits. Sweyn's betrayal looms. His faith will face its ultimate test. Join us next time as we sail through blood and fire, through the heart of a king who dared to connect a nation, a king whose legacy connects us all. The sky over Denmark is bruised with storm clouds. It's 987 AD, and the air feels heavy with fate. King Harald Bluetooth stands on a cliff, gazing at the churning sea. His graying hair whips in the wind. His armor, scarred from battles, gleams dully. Once he was a young warrior with a dream, a united Denmark, bound by faith and strength. Now his dream frays like an old sail. His son, Sweyn Forkbeard, plots against him. Rebels sharpen their axes. The cross he championed divides his people. Harald's heart is a battlefield, torn between hope and despair. In our last journey, we saw Harald face rebellion. He built churches, defying pagan wrath. He clashed with warriors who clung to Thor and Odin. His son Sweyn's defiance grew, a shadow over his throne. Yet Harald's vision held firm. His gelling stones proclaimed his triumphs. His intertwined runes, now the Bluetooth symbol, promised connection, a promise that links our world today. But every vision has a price. Harald's is about to be paid in blood. Let's dive into the twilight of his reign. A saga of betrayal, exile, and a legacy that outlives the man. The waves crash below Harald's cliff. His eyes trace the horizon. Memories flood his mind. The battles he won. The stones he raised. The churches he built. Each victory forged Denmark's soul. But each came with a cost. His people are divided. Christians pray in new churches. Pagans sacrifice to old gods. Harald feels the weight of his choices. He wonders if he pushed too far, too fast. A horn sounds in the distance. Harald stiffens. It's Sweyn's signal. His son leads a fleet of longships. They sail not for raids, but for rebellion. Harald's chest tightens. He raised Sweyn to be strong. Now that strength turns against him. He grips his sword. "I built this kingdom," he whispers. "I will not let it fall." But deep down, he fears the end. The sea roars as if mocking his resolve. Imagine the scene through Sweyn's eyes. He stands at the prow of his longship. The wind carries the scent of salt and rebellion. Sweyn is 25, fierce and unyielding. His beard is braided, his eyes cold. He sees his father's Denmark as a betrayal. Harald's cross is a chain. His alliances with Christian kings weaken Viking pride. Sweyn's men row with purpose. They chant Odin's name. Sweyn raises his axe. "For the old gods," he shouts. His heart burns with ambition. He'll take the throne. He'll restore the old ways. Sweyn's rebellion isn't just personal. It's cultural. The Heimskringla saga tells us Sweyn briefly revived paganism after Harald's fall. He saw his father's Christianity as surrender. Sweyn was a Viking through and through. Raids on England made him rich. His men loved him. To them, Harald was a king who knelt to a foreign god. Sweyn's defiance was a spark in dry grass. It set Denmark ablaze. Let's ground ourselves in history. The late 10th century was a crucible for Scandinavia. Harald's reign, spanning roughly 958 to 987, was a turning point. His gelling stones, as we've seen, claimed he won all of Denmark and Norway and made the Danes Christian. But unity was fragile. The Gesta Danorum hints at internal strife. Chieftains resisted central rule. Paganism clung stubbornly. Christianity spread, but slowly. Harald's baptism, likely around 965, tied him to Otto I's Holy Roman Empire. It brought trade and allies, but it also bred enemies. Archaeological evidence paints a vivid picture. Churches in Jelling and Ribe show Harald's commitment. Pagan graves, with Thor's hammer amulets, show resistance. The Trelleborg fortresses, built by Harald, reveal his military vision. These massive ring forts strengthened his grip, but they couldn't stop betrayal. Sweyn's rebellion, dated around 987, was the fatal blow. Harald's dream of unity outlived him, but his throne did not. The scene shifts to the misty battlefield. Dawn breaks over a Danish plain. Harald's army forms a shield wall. Their faces are grim, their shields battered. Across the field, Sweyn's rebels advance. Their banners bear pagan runes. Harald stands at the center, his cross gleaming on his chest. He raises his sword. "For Denmark!" he roars. His voice is steady, but his heart wavers. He faces his son, his blood, his betrayer. From the perspective of a Christian warrior named Leif, the battle is a nightmare. Leif was baptized last spring. He believes in Harald's vision, a Denmark united under one faith. But now he faces Sweyn's men. They're his kin, his friends. Leif grips his shield, whispering a prayer. He sees Harald tall and resolute. Leif wants to believe in him, but doubt creeps in. Can a king fight his son and win? The horns blare. The clash begins. Steel screams. Blood spills. Leif fights for Harald, but he fears for Denmark. The battle rages under a gray sky. Harald swings his axe with fury. His men hold the line. Sweyn's forces press hard. Their war cries echo like wolves. Harald spots Sweyn across the field. Their eyes lock, father and son, bound by blood, divided by belief. Harald charges. Sweyn meets him. Their weapons clash, a spark of steel. "You shame our name!" Sweyn shouts. Harald's voice is ice. "You break our future!" The duel is brutal. Each blow carries years of pain. The crowd watches, breathless. Denmark's fate hangs in the balance. The sagas are vague on this moment. Did father and son truly fight? Perhaps not. But Sweyn's rebellion was real. The Heimskringla says he drove Harald into exile. Some sources claim Harald was wounded, fleeing to Pomerania. Others say he died. What's clear is the outcome. Sweyn took the throne. Harald's reign ended. His vision, though, endured. Denmark remained Christian. The seeds he planted grew, even in his absence. Picture Harald in exile. He stands on a foreign shore, likely Pomerania. The year is 987. The sea stretches before him, endless and cold. His armor is gone. His crown is lost. He's an old man now, nearing 50. His hands tremble, not from cold, but from grief. He thinks of gelling, of the stones he raised, of the churches he built. Did it matter? He wonders. His son rules Denmark now. Sweyn's banners fly high. Yet Harald's heart holds hope. His faith, his unity, will outlast him. A local fisherman, an old man named Bjarni, watches Harald. He doesn't know the stranger's story, but he sees the pain in his eyes. Bjarni offers bread and ale. "What haunts you, traveler?" he asks. Harald's voice is soft. "A kingdom lost," he says. "A dream unfinished." Bjarni nods, understanding loss. He doesn't know Harald's name, but he senses his greatness. Harald gazes at the sea. He whispers a prayer, not for himself, for Denmark. Let's reflect on Harald's fall. History is unkind to the defeated. The sagas focus on Sweyn's triumphs, but Harald's legacy is undeniable. The Jelling Stones, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, still stand. Their runes tell his story. The cross on the great stone marks his faith. Denmark became Christian, despite Sweyn's brief pagan revival. Harald's forts, like Trelleborg, shaped a stronger kingdom. His diplomatic ties with Otto I opened Europe to Denmark. His vision laid the foundation for a nation. Then there's the Bluetooth symbol. Harald's intertwined runes representing H and B inspired a modern marvel. In 1998, Ericsson engineers chose the name Bluetooth for their wireless tech. Why? Because Harald united disparate tribes, just as Bluetooth unites devices. Your phone, your earbuds, your laptop, they carry Harald's mark. A Viking king's dream lives in our hands. It's a legacy forged in sacrifice, enduring beyond his exile. The scene shifts to Jelling years later. Sweyn rules now. The great stone still stands. A young boy, Knut, Sweyn's son, traces its runes. He's heard stories of his grandfather, Harald, a king who dared to dream. Knut's father scorns the cross, but Knut feels its pull. He'll one day rule England, a Christian king. Harald's faith takes root, even in his absence. The boy looks up. The sky is clear. The storm has passed. Harald's dream lives on. From Knut's perspective, Harald is a mystery, a giant from tales. Knut hears whispers of rebellion, of exile. But he sees the stone. He sees the churches. He feels Denmark's strength. Harald's vision shaped him, even if he'll never know it. The boy runs his fingers over the Bluetooth runes, a spark of connection across centuries. Now, let's bring Harald's story to our lives. His Bluetooth symbol connects our world. His life teaches us resilience. Harald faced betrayal. He lost his throne, yet his vision endured. We all face setbacks, a failed project, a broken relationship. Harald's lesson is clear. Legacies outlive losses. Build something bigger than yourself. Plant seeds, even if others reap them. Harald's exile wasn't the end. His stones, his faith, his symbol, they're eternal. Think of your own struggles. What dream have you buried? What loss holds you back? Harald teaches us to keep building, to trust that our work matters. His gelling stones stand as proof. His Bluetooth symbol binds us daily. So pick up your tools, forge your legacy, connect your world, one step at a time. Harald's saga doesn't end here. His legacy ripples through time, from Viking shores to modern tech, from a fallen king to a connected world. Join us next time as we explore the final threads of his story, the triumph of his vision, the birth of a technology that carries his name, a king who fell but never faded. The sun rises over Jelling, Denmark. It's 990 AD, years after Harald Bluetooth's fall. The great runestone stands tall, its runes sharp against the dawn. Carved with a serpent and a crude Christ, it speaks of a king's dream. Harald Gormson, once king, now a shadow in exile. His throne is gone, taken by his son Sweyn Forkbeard. His vision of a united Christian Denmark seems lost. Yet the stone endures, its message echoes. Harald's mark, two intertwined runes, promises connection, a promise that binds us even now in the Bluetooth devices we hold. In our last journey, we saw Harald's world unravel. Betrayed by Sweyn, he fought a desperate battle. He fled to exile, his heart heavy with loss. But his gelling stones stood firm. His faith took root. His symbol inspired a technology that connects our world. Harald's story isn't over. His legacy burns bright, bridging Viking shores to our digital age. Let's walk the final steps of his saga, a tale of triumph, memory, and a king who connected us all. The gelling stone casts a long shadow. A young warrior, Knut, stands before it. He's Sweyn's son, Harald's grandson. His fingers trace the stone's runes. Harald, who won all of Denmark and made the Danes Christian, they read. Knut is barely 15, but his eyes are sharp. He's heard tales of his grandfather, a king who dared to dream, a king who fell. Knut feels a stirring in his chest. Harald's vision calls to him. Denmark is stronger now. Churches rise where altars to Thor once stood. Knut wonders if Harald's dream was worth the cost. Nearby, a priest named Edric watches. He's a Christian, sent from England to spread the faith. Edric sees the stone as holy. To him, Harald was a pioneer, a Viking who knelt to Christ. Edric kneels, praying for Harald's soul. He doesn't know if Harald lives or died in exile, but he feels the king's presence. The stone is proof. Harald's work changed Denmark. Edric vows to honor it. He'll build on Harald's foundation. He'll spread the cross further. Let's anchor ourselves in history. The late 10th century was a turning point. Harald's reign, from 958 to 987, reshaped Denmark. His gelling stones, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, proclaim his deeds. The larger stone, raised around 965, marks his triumphs, uniting Denmark, conquering Norway, and Christianizing his people. But Harald's fall was stark. Sweyn's rebellion, likely in 987, drove him into exile, possibly to Pomerania. The Heimskringla saga suggests he died there. Yet his legacy endured. Denmark remained Christian, despite Sweyn's brief pagan revival. Archaeological evidence tells a vivid story. Churches in Jelling, Ribe, and Roskilde show Christianity's spread. The Trelleborg fortresses, built by Harald, reveal his military vision. These ring forts centralized power, strengthening Denmark against rivals. Harald's diplomatic ties with Otto I's Holy Roman Empire brought trade and prestige. His reign laid the groundwork for a nation. His grandson Knut, later King of England, Denmark, and Norway, built on that foundation. Harald's dream outlived his exile. The scene shifts to a bustling market in Ribe. Merchants hawk furs and amber. Longships crowd the docks. A Christian church stands at the market's edge. Its cross gleams in the sun. A woman named Ingrid pauses before it. She's a trader's wife, baptized last year. She wears a cross, but her husband still honors Thor. Ingrid feels the divide in her home. She thinks of Harald. His courage inspired her faith. But she hears whispers of Sweyn's rule. Pagan altars rise again. Ingrid prays for peace. She hopes Harald's vision holds. From Ingrid's perspective, Harald is a hero. She never met him, but his story moves her. He dared to change Denmark. He built churches like this one. Ingrid clutches her cross. She feels connected to something larger. The market hums around her. Vikings and Christians trade side by side. Harald's dream of unity lives here, fragile but real. Ingrid vows to teach her children the new faith. She'll carry Harald's torch, even as Sweyn's shadow looms. Picture a stormy night in Jelling's hall. Sweyn Forkbeard sits on the throne. His face is hard, his eyes restless. He's king now, but uneasy. His men feast, but their laughter is forced. Sweyn tried to restore the old gods. He raised altars to Odin, but the cross persists. Churches stand. Priests like Edric preach. Sweyn feels Harald's presence. The gelling stone just outside mocks him. "You cannot erase my father," it seems to say. Sweyn grips his goblet. His reign is strong but incomplete. Harald's legacy haunts him. A young advisor, Gunnar, speaks up. "My lord," he says, voice cautious, "the people turn to Christ." Sweyn's eyes narrow. "Let them," he snaps, "but I rule by strength, not prayers." Gunnar hesitates. He sees the truth. Harald's faith is winning. Sweyn's pagan revival is fading. The advisor bows, hiding his thoughts. He admires Harald's vision. He believes Denmark's future lies with the cross. Sweyn's pride blinds him. Gunnar knows the tide is turning. Let's reflect on Harald's triumph. History shows his Christianity took root. By Canut's reign in the 1010s, Denmark was firmly Christian. Churches multiplied. Bishops held sway. The Gesta Danorum credits Harald with starting this shift. His strategy was subtle. He didn't destroy pagan temples. He built beside them. He blended runes with crosses, as seen on the Jelling Stone. His forts, like Trelleborg, secured his rule. His alliances with Otto Furs brought wealth. Harald's exile was a loss, but his vision was a victory. Then there's the Bluetooth connection. In 1998, engineers at Ericsson needed a name for their wireless technology. They chose Bluetooth, inspired by Harald's nickname and his unifying legacy. The logo, 2 runes for H and B, echoes his gelling symbol. Jim Kardach, an Intel engineer, proposed the name. He saw Harald as a unifier, like their tech-linking devices. Today, Bluetooth connects billions of phones, speakers, cars. Harald's dream of connection lives in our hands, a Viking king's legacy, alive in silicon. The scene shifts to a modern day in 2025. A tech conference hums with energy. Engineers gather in a sleek hall. Screens glow with data. A presenter, Anna, holds up her phone. "This is Bluetooth," she says. Her voice is crisp. "Named for a Viking king." The audience leans in. Anna tells Harald's story. His battles, his faith, his stones. She shows an image of the Jelling Stone. Its runes glow on the screen. "Harald united Denmark," she says. "Bluetooth unites us." From Anna's perspective, Harald is a marvel. She's no historian, but his story inspires her. A king from 1,000 years ago shapes her work. She designs Bluetooth chips, connecting devices worldwide. Anna feels a spark of pride. Harald's vision transcended his time. His exile didn't dim his light. She smiles, clicking her presentation forward. The Bluetooth logo appears, 2 runes intertwined. Harald's mark, eternal. Imagine a quiet moment in Jelling today. A tourist, Maria, stands before the Great Stone. It's a UNESCO site now, preserved for eternity. Maria reads the runes. She's from Brazil, far from Viking shores, yet she feels connected. Her phone, linked by Bluetooth, hums in her pocket. She marvels at the link. A king's dream, carved in stone, powers her world. Maria takes a photo. The stone looms against a clear sky. Harald's legacy feels alive. She whispers a thank you to a king she'll never meet. Maria's awe reflects a broader truth. Harald's impact spans centuries. The Jelling stones draw thousands yearly. Archaeologists study their runes. Tech giants honor his name. Denmark's Christian identity, forged by Harald, endures. His forts shaped a nation. His symbol connects our devices. Harald's life was a bridge between pagan and Christian, past and present. His fall was not his end. His vision was his victory. Now, let's bring Harald's story to our lives. His Bluetooth symbol binds our world. His life teaches us endurance. Harald faced exile, betrayal, and loss. Yet his dream survived. He built for a future he'd never see. We all face moments of defeat, a job lost, a goal unmet. Harald's lesson is clear. Keep building. Your work matters, even if you don't see its fruit. Plant seeds, forge connections, leave a mark that outlives you. Think of your own legacy. What will you leave behind? A kind word? A bold idea? Harald's stones stand as proof. Small acts echo. His Bluetooth symbol reminds us, connection is power. So, dare to dream big. Unite, don't divide. Build bridges, not walls. Harald's saga shows us how. His life, his fall, his triumph, they live in us. Harald's story is complete, but its echoes remain. From Viking battles to modern tech, from a king's exile to a world connected, his legacy is our challenge, to build, to endure, to connect. Thank you for joining this saga. Harald Bluetooth's name lives in history, in stone, in our hands. Let's carry his vision forward. Let's connect our world, one dream at a time. The wind whispers through the fields of Gelling. It's 1015 AD, decades after Harald Bluetooth's fall. The great runestone stands unmoved, its runes sharp against the morning sky. Carved with a serpent and a rugged Christ, it tells a story of triumph and loss. Harald Gormson, the king who united Denmark, is gone. His exile, his death, fade into legend. Yet his vision endures. His stones proclaim it. His faith transformed a nation. His symbol, two intertwined runes, connects our world today. In every phone, every earbud, Harald's legacy lives. In our last journey, we saw Harald's dream take root. His grandson Knut traced the Gelling stone, feeling its pull. Denmark embraced Christianity, despite Sweyn's rebellion. Harald's runes inspired Bluetooth technology, a bridge from Viking past to digital present. Now we step into the aftermath, a saga of legacy, memory, and connection. Let's explore how Harald's vision shaped a nation, a faith, and the world we know today. The Gelling stone gleams in the sunlight. King Knut, now a man, stands before it. He's no longer the boy who traced its runes. At 35, he rules Denmark, Norway, and England. His empire spans seas, a testament to Viking strength. Yet Knut feels Harald's shadow. His grandfather's dream unity, faith guides him. Knut is Christian, crowned in Canterbury. He kneels before the stone. "You built this, grandfather," he whispers. His voice is soft, reverent. The stone feels alive, a heartbeat of Denmark's soul. A monk named Alfric watches nearby. He's an English scholar, sent to advise Knut. Alfric sees the stone as sacred. Harald's faith, he believes, saved Denmark. It brought the Danes into Christendom's fold. Alfric's quill scratches parchment. He records Knut's reign, but also Harald's. "A king who changed the tides," he writes. Alfric feels awe. Harald's stones are more than rock. They're a bridge between worlds pagan and Christian, past and future. Let's root ourselves in history. Harald's reign, from 958 to 987, was a pivot point. His Gelling stones, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, declare his deeds, uniting Denmark, conquering Norway, and Christianizing his people. His exile, likely in 987, marked his fall. Sweyn Forkbeard, his son, briefly revived paganism. But Harald's faith won out. By Knut's time, Denmark was Christian. Churches dotted the land. Bishops wielded power. Harald's vision, though born in strife, endured. Archaeology tells a vivid tale. The Jelling stones, erected around 965, are masterpieces of propaganda. The larger stone, with its Christ and serpent, blends faiths. Excavations at Ribe and Roskilde reveal early churches built under Harald's rule. The Trelleborg fortresses, his military strongholds, show his strategic mind. These ring forts centralized power, making Denmark a nation. Harald's diplomacy with Otto I's Holy Roman Empire opened trade routes. His legacy shaped Knut's empire, a Christian realm that rivaled Europe's greatest powers. The scene shifts to a bustling port in Roskilde. Longships bob in the harbor. Merchants shout, trading furs for silver. A stone church rises above the chaos. Its cross catches the evening light. A young woman, Sigrid, pauses before it. She's a weaver, born after Harald's time. Her mother told her stories of the old king, Harald, who brought the cross. Sigrid wears one around her neck. She feels its weight, its promise. The port hums with life. Christians and former pagans trade as one. Harald's unity lives here, fragile but strong. From Sigrid's perspective, Harald is a legend. She imagines him standing where she stands, a king who dared to dream beyond raids and blood. Sigrid's husband, a sailor, still honors Odin in secret, but he respects her faith. Sigrid sees Harald's work in this piece. The church, the market, the mingled voices, they're his legacy. She touches her cross, whispering a prayer for her family, for Denmark, for the king who changed it all. Picture a grand hall in Winchester, England. Knut sits on a throne, his crown heavy. It's 1018, and he rules 3 kingdoms. Advisors surround him, Danish, English, Christian. A tapestry hangs on the wall, depicting Jelling's stone. Knut's eyes linger on it. He thinks of Harald. His grandfather's dream made this possible. Knut's empire is Harald's vision, realized. He rises, addressing his court. "We are one," he says. His voice echoes, bound by faith, by strength. The hall cheers. Harald's spirit feels near. An advisor, Thorkel, nods in approval. He's a Viking warrior turned Christian lord. Thorkel fought for Sweyn, but now serves Knut. He sees Harald's hand in this unity. The cross binds Knut's empire, just as Harald hoped. Thorkel remembers the old gods. He wore Thor's hammer once. Now he wears a cross. He feels no loss. Harald's vision was right. Thorkel raises his goblet. "To Harald," he murmurs. The toast is silent, but heartfelt. Let's pause to trace Harald's legacy. The sagas, like the Gesta Danorum, credit him with Denmark's Christian dawn. His churches laid the foundation. By 1100, Denmark had a bishopric in Roskilde. Knut's reign, from 1018 to 1035, cemented this shift. He built on Harald's work, spreading Christianity across his empire. The Jelling stones became symbols of a new era. Their runes, blending pagan and Christian motifs, showed Harald's genius. He didn't erase the old. He wove it into the new. Harald's forts, like Trelleborg, were equally vital. These massive structures, with their precise geometry, housed garrisons and projected power. Excavations reveal their scale hundreds of meters across, built with earth and timber. They secured Denmark's borders, enabling Knut's conquests. Harald's diplomacy with Otto I brought wealth and stability. His legacy wasn't just spiritual, it was political, military, cultural. Denmark became a player on Europe's stage, thanks to Harald's vision. The scene shifts to 1998, a sleek office in Sweden. Engineers at Ericsson huddle around a table. Papers and coffee cups clutter the space. Jim Cardock, an Intel engineer, speaks up. "We need a name," he says. His voice is eager, something that captures unity. He tells Harald's story, a Viking king who joined tribes. The team nods. "Bluetooth," Jim suggests, pointing to Harald's nickname. The room buzzes. It's perfect. Harald's runes, H and B intertwined, become the logo. 1,000 years after his death, Harald's mark connects the world. From Jim's perspective, Harald is a spark. He read about the king in a history book. The idea struck him late at night. Harald united Denmark, just as their tech would unite devices. Jim sketches the runes on a napkin. His colleagues grin. They see the vision. Bluetooth is born, linking phones, computers, cars. Jim feels a thrill. A Viking's dream powers their future. Harald's legacy, he realizes, is timeless. Picture gelling in 2025. A family visits the UNESCO site. The great stone looms, its runes worn but clear. A teenager, Liam, stares at it. His phone, connected by Bluetooth, buzzes in his pocket. His guidebook mentions Harald. Liam's eyes widen. "This king inspired Bluetooth?" he asks. His mother nods, smiling. "He connected people," she says. Liam snaps a photo. The stone feels alive, a link to the past. He texts it to his friends. Harald's runes hum through the air, invisible but real. From Liam's perspective, Harald is a revelation. He's a gamer, always online. Bluetooth powers his headset, his controller. Now he sees its roots, a king who fought for unity. Liam feels a spark. History isn't just old stones. It's alive in his hands. He imagines Harald standing where he stands, a man who dreamed big. Liam grins. He wants to dream big too. The stone's shadow falls over him. Harald's legacy feels close, vibrant. Let's reflect on Harald's enduring impact. His gelling stones draw thousands yearly. Scholars study their runes. Tourists marvel at their scale. Denmark's Christian identity, born under Harald, shapes its culture today. His forts, his churches, his alliances, they built a nation. Knut's empire, spanning England, Denmark, and Norway, was Harald's dream fulfilled. The Bluetooth symbol, used by billions, carries his name. From Viking halls to tech labs, Harald's vision connects us. This connection is no accident. Harald's life was about bridging divides, pagan and Christian, tribe and nation, past and future. His runes, now a global logo, embody this. Bluetooth powers medical devices, cars, smart homes. It's in 5 billion devices worldwide, from Lagos to Tokyo. Harald's story reminds us, one person's vision can change everything. His exile didn't dim his light. His dream outlived his life. Now, let's bring Harald's saga to our world. His Bluetooth symbol links our devices. His life teaches us to dream beyond defeat. Harald faced rebellion, betrayal, exile. Yet his stones stand. His faith endured. His name powers our tech. We all face moments of doubt, a failed plan, a lost hope. Harald's lesson is clear. Build for tomorrow. Your work, however small, can echo through time. Connect, don't divide. Dream. Don't despair. Think of your own path. What legacy will you leave? A kind act? A bold idea? Harald's stones prove small seeds grow. His Bluetooth symbol shows connection is eternal. So take a step, build a bridge, share a dream. Harald's saga challenges us to leave a mark, to unite our world, one moment at a time. Harald Bluetooth's story is complete. From a king's ambition to a global legacy, from gelling stones to the devices in our hands, his vision of unity lives on. Thank you for walking this saga with us. Harald's name echoes in history, in faith, in tech. Let's honor him. Let's connect our world, inspired by a king who dared to dream. The mist clings to the hills of Gelling. It's 1035 AD, a century after Harald Bluetooth's rise. The great runestone stands like a sentinel, its runes weathered but defiant. Carved with a serpent and a rugged Christ, it whispers of a king's ambition. Harald Gormson, the Viking who united Denmark, is long gone. His exile, his fall are now legends. Yet his vision burns bright. His stones anchor a Christian nation. His faith reshaped a people. His symbol, two intertwined runes, connects our world. From Viking shores to the smartphones in our hands, Harald's legacy endures. In our last journey, we saw Harald's dream ripple through time. His grandson, Knut, built an empire on his foundation. Denmark embraced Christianity, its churches rising where pagan altars once stood. Harald's runes inspired Bluetooth technology, linking billions of devices today. Now, we stand at the crossroads of past and present. Let's explore how Harald's saga speaks to our world. A tale of connection, identity, and the power of one man's vision. The gelling stone catches the dawn's first light. A young woman, Estrid, kneels before it. She's a descendant of Harald's line, a noblewoman of Denmark. Her fingers brush the stone's runes. Harald, who won all of Denmark, they read. Estrid's heart swells with pride. Her family's saga began with him, a king who dared to unite tribes, to embrace a new faith. Estrid wears a cross, a symbol of Harald's triumph. She prays for her people. Denmark is strong now, a Christian realm. Harald's dream, she knows, made it so. A traveling bard, Olaf, watches her. He's a storyteller, weaving tales of Vikings and kings. Olaf sees the stone as a muse. Harald's story is his favorite. A king who bridged worlds, pagan and Christian, chaos and order. Olaf strums his lyre, humming a verse. Harald's runes bind us still, he sings. The words carry on the wind. Olaf feels Harald's spirit. The king's legacy isn't just stone. It's the soul of Denmark, alive in every heart. Let's ground ourselves in history. Harald's reign, from 958 to 987, was a turning point for Scandinavia. His gelling stones, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, proclaim his triumphs, uniting Denmark, conquering Norway, and Christianizing his people. His exile in 987, driven by his son Sweyn Forkbeard, marked his fall. Yet his vision endured. By 1035, under Knut's successors, Denmark was a Christian powerhouse. Churches in Ribe, Roskilde, and Lund stood as testaments. Harald's Trelleborg fortresses secured the land. His diplomacy with Otto Fürst opened Europe's doors. Archaeological evidence paints a vivid picture. The gelling stones, raised around 965, are propaganda carved in granite. Their blend of Christian cross and pagan serpent shows Harald's genius. Excavations at Trelleborg reveal his military vision ring forts that housed armies, projecting power. Christian graves, with crosses etched on stones, mark the faith's spread. Harald's legacy wasn't just physical, it was cultural. He forged a Danish identity, rooted in unity and faith, that shaped centuries. The scene shifts to the vibrant festival in Roskilde. It's 1100 AD, and the town pulses with life. A cathedral looms, its spire piercing the sky. Vikings once raided here, now pilgrims pray. A blacksmith, Bjorn, hammers iron by the cathedral steps. He's a Christian, baptized as a child. His grandfather spoke of Harald, the king who brought the cross. Bjorn feels a debt to him. The festival celebrates Denmark's faith. Bjorn smiles, shaping a cross pendant. Harald's vision, he thinks, forged this peace. From Bjorn's perspective, Harald is a founder. His hammer strikes ring like bells. Each blow honors the king who united Denmark. Bjorn's wife, a weaver, sells cloth dyed with Christian symbols. Their children play near the cathedral, unafraid. This harmony, Bjorn knows, began with Harald. The old gods are memories now. The cross binds his people. Bjorn pauses, wiping sweat from his brow. He whispers a thanks to Harald, a king he never met, but always feels. Picture a quiet monastery in Lund. A monk, Brother Sven, copies a manuscript by candlelight. The year is 1150. His quill traces Latin words, a chronicle of Denmark's kings. Harald's name fills the page. He made the Danes Christian, Sven writes. His heart stirs. Harald's saga is holy to him, a Viking who knelt to Christ, uniting a fractured land. Sven's monastery, built on Harald's legacy, is a beacon of learning. He prays for the king's soul. Harald's vision, Sven believes, was God's work. Sven's perspective reflects a shift. Denmark, once a land of raiders, is now a center of faith. Manuscripts like the Gesta Danorum praise Harald's role. His churches became hubs of culture. Monks like Sven preserved knowledge, spreading it to Europe. Harald's dream of unity went beyond borders. It linked Denmark to Christendom's heart. Sven dips his quill, writing on. Harald's story, he knows, will live forever. Let's leap to 1998, a tech lab in Lund, Sweden. Engineers crowd a conference room. Screens glow with code. Jim Kardak, an Intel engineer, stands at a whiteboard. Bluetooth, he says, voice bright. Named for Harald Bluetooth. He sketches two runes H and B intertwined. The team murmurs approval. Harald's story, Jim explains, inspired the name. A king who united tribes, just as their tech unites devices. The runes become the logo. A Viking's mark, reborn in silicon. From Jim's perspective, Harald is a catalyst. He read about the king during a late-night brainstorm. Harald's nickname, tied to his unifying reign, felt perfect. Jim's team at Ericsson and Intel builds Bluetooth to link phones, computers, earbuds. The technology, launched in 1999, grows fast. By 2025, it's in 5 billion devices. Jim feels a rush of pride. Harald's vision, 1,000 years old, powers their world. The runes on his whiteboard connect past and future. The scene shifts to a bustling market in Lagos, Nigeria, in 2025. A vendor, Aisha, sells Bluetooth earbuds. Her stall buzzes with customers. Aisha's phone linked to a speaker plays music. She smiles, adjusting her headset. A customer asks about Bluetooth's name. Aisha shares Harald's story, learned from a podcast. A Viking king, she says. He brought people together. The customer nods, intrigued. Aisha feels a spark. Harald's legacy touches her life, half a world away. From Aisha's perspective, Harald is a marvel. She's a tech-savvy entrepreneur, connecting her community. Bluetooth powers her business, her music, her calls. Knowing its Viking roots makes it special. Aisha sees parallels to her work. She unites buyers and sellers, building trust. Harald's dream of connection resonates. She adjusts her earbuds, humming along. A king's vision, she thinks, lives in her hands. Picture a classroom in Tokyo, 2025. A teacher, Hiroshi, shows his students the gelling stone on a screen. "This is Harald Bluetooth," he says. His voice is warm. "His symbol powers your devices." The students gasp, checking their phones. Hiroshi tells Harald's saga battles, faith, exile. He explains the Bluetooth logo, 2 runes from a Viking king. The class buzzes with questions. Hiroshi smiles. Harald's story bridges history and tech, inspiring young minds. Hiroshi's perspective is one of wonder. He's a history teacher, passionate about connections. Harald's life shows how one person's vision can ripple through time. His students, born in a digital age, see Bluetooth as ordinary. Now they see its roots. A king who united Denmark inspires their gadgets. Hiroshi assigns a project: explore a historical figure's legacy. He hopes his students dream big, like Harald. The gelling stone glows on the screen. Its runes feel alive. Let's reflect on Harald's global impact. The gelling stones draw thousands yearly. Scholars decode their runes. Tourists stand in awe. Denmark's Christian identity, forged by Harald, shapes its modern culture. His Trelleborg forts, studied by archaeologists, reveal a strategic genius. His diplomacy with Otto Fürst made Denmark a European player. Knut's empire, built on Harald's foundation, spanned nations. The Bluetooth symbol, used in billions of devices, carries his name. Harald's vision of unity transcends time. Bluetooth's reach is staggering. In 2025, it powers smart homes, medical devices, cars. It connects rural farmers to markets, doctors to patients, friends across continents. The Bluetooth Special Interest Group, formed in 1998, credits Harald's legacy. His runes, H and B, are a global icon. Harald's story shows the power of vision. A king's dream, born in a turbulent age, unites our world. His exile didn't end his story. His legacy is our connection. Now, let's bring Harald's saga to our lives. His Bluetooth symbol links our devices. His life teaches us to dream beyond limits. Harald faced betrayal, loss, exile. Yet his stones stand. His faith transformed a nation. His runes power our tech. We all face challenges: a stalled career, a broken bond. Harald's lesson is clear. Your vision can outlive your struggles. Build something lasting. Connect. Don't divide. Dare to leave a mark. Think of your own journey. What will you build? A community? An idea? Harald's stones prove small acts endure. His Bluetooth symbol shows connection is timeless. So take a risk. Share a dream. Unite your world. Harald's saga challenges us to create, to forge bonds that echo through time. His life, his vision, his legacy, they live in us. Harald Bluetooth's story is eternal. From Viking battles to global tech, from gelling stones to the connections in our hands. His dream of unity is our call to action. Thank you for sharing this saga. Harald's name lives in history, in faith, in our world. Let's carry his vision forward. Let's connect, create, and dream, inspired by a king who changed everything.